Oh, hey everybody, Ryan here, getting ready for a little leg workout. Legs are very important for climbing, even though a lot of people tend to neglect a little bit of leg work, and when people do try to use their legs when they're on that wall, they tend to overload joints. It's really hard to activate, engage, recruit those big old muscle groups that can be very, very helpful for us. I'm going to show you a couple movements that can help you learn how to start to engage those legs a little bit more when you're on the wall. Let's go. So to work your legs, the best exercise you can learn is the squat. Standard squat is a very, very good exercise to recruit those quads, those hamstrings, and those glutes. So you want to try to keep your chest up, keep your shoulder blades back, got to keep your core nice and tight. The hips are coming back and the knees are staying lined up with the hips and the ankle. You're coming down, hips going back, and then from there, you're driving up. From the side, you can see how you got to be very aware of your knees. You don't want your knees coming too far forward and your hips coming with it. You don't want your heels coming up off the ground. You got to make sure that your hips are coming back. Those knees are staying on top of that foot. And from that position, quads, hamstrings, glutes drive you back up to the top. This is very difficult for a lot of climbers because we tend to toe in to a lot of holds. And the second you toe in like that, it puts a lot of pressure on your quads and on your knee, that patellar tendon. This can be very, very dangerous. So learning how to do a good squat will take that stress off the patellar tendon, allow you to both use your quads, hamstrings, and glutes. That's a squat. Okay, let's work on a reverse lunge. I got Annabelle here to help me show how it goes a little bit. Say hey, Annabelle.
Hi.
So a reverse lunge, Annabelle, turn and get into that good lunge position that we're talking about. So a good lunge position has your front leg pointing straight down, this part of your back leg pointing straight down. See how Annabelle's quite tall. She's got her shoulders back. She's got her chest up. This is going to engage and activate a lot of the same muscle groups as a squat. The quad, the hamstring, and even those glutes a little bit. So from this position, using her front foot, driving the whole foot into the ground, Annabelle's just going to stand straight up. And she's going to come straight back down. That back toe is curled underneath her to give her a little bit more stability. From here, she stands right up, right back down. Now we can make it an alternating reverse lunge where she stands up, comes forward, and then switches, draws the other leg back, and comes straight down. This is just trading from one leg to the next, giving the same type of movement, the same work to the muscle groups in each leg. That's your reverse lunge. Single leg deadlifts are a good exercise to focus a little bit more on the back of the leg, the hamstrings and the glutes. Pressing movements tend to be a little bit more quad focused. But the second we get into a deadlift, we're triggering those hamstrings a little bit more. The way it works is you're going up one leg, your leg and your upper body are going to kind of go at the same time. And as they're going, that leg is kind of bending, flexing a little bit. You're going to go as deep as you can until you feel a good deep stretch in that hamstring and those glutes. You don't want to roll your body open this way. You want to make sure that the leg that is active and moving, that same arm side, is coming towards the ground to keep you facing the ground. You don't want to roll open. So from here, you're coming down, that leg flexes, standing back up, alternating on the other side. That's your single leg deadlift. As you become more efficient with your squat and you want to progress into something a little bit more challenging, you can start introducing a Cossack Squat. Cossack Squat is definitely more challenging because now you can overload one and the other leg, making it a little bit more difficult. A lot of the same principles stay in effect. We're going a little bit wider with our feet now. We're turning our toes out, so those knee joints stay in line with our hips. Chest up, shoulders back, and as you bring your center of balance to the one side, you're going to turn up on that heel, up on that toe. Your hip is still going to drive back. You're going to lower down, and now this side of your body is doing the majority of the work to stand you back up. Alternating to the other side. Now this heel is going to turn up, being mindful of that knee, not letting it blast out wide. We're driving down into this leg and using everything in that side to stand us back up. That's your Cossack Squat. Okay everybody, that ends our episode on legs. As you continue practicing and as you become more efficient at some of these movements, it's likely that you're going to want to progress into something a little bit more challenging. Maybe weighted squats, maybe even pistol squats. And I encourage you to do so, but I also encourage you to pay attention to your form. Remember, we're trying to load our muscle groups in order to become a little bit more effective when we're on that climbing wall. So we want to make sure we're loading our muscles not putting the stress on our joints. Join us next episode. We're going to talk a little bit about the abs, about the obliques, the lower back, more commonly known as the core. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.